The Galactic Federation headquarters was a towering monument to everything overly serious and bureaucratic about the universe. As I stepped off the shuttle and onto the gleaming platform, I couldn't help but feel like a kid arriving at a science fair where everyone else had PhDs. But hey, when the galaxy needs a mediator, they call the best. Or, apparently, the one available on short notice. That's me, Captain Jill Harper, Intergalactic Diplomat Extraordinaire. I took a deep breath, adjusted my uniform, and plastered on my best diplomatic smile. Time to charm some aliens. I was met by Zorgons, a tall, stern-looking creature from the Andromedian species, who seemed to have been dipped in glitter and given an extra set of eyes for good measure. Beside him was Grix, a Zorgon with more tentacles than seemed strictly necessary, and an expression that screamed, "I regret everything about this situation." "Captain Harper," Zorgons said in a tone that suggested he'd rather be anywhere else. "Welcome to the Galactic Federation. I trust your journey was comfortable." "Oh, it was delightful," I replied, my voice dripping with sarcasm. Nothing like a 6-hour shuttle ride with recycled air and questionable space snacks to start the day right. Grix twitched nervously. "Shall we proceed to the negotiation chamber?" "Lead the way, tentacles," I said with a wink. Grix's eyes widened, and I could almost hear the sound of his brain short-circuiting. The Galactic Federation headquarters was a sprawling complex, a testament to the architectural prowess and overly complicated tastes of its many species. As we walked through the grand corridors, I couldn't help but notice the eclectic mix of designs. There were sections that looked like they were straight out of a sci-fi movie, with sleek metal walls and holographic displays, while others resembled ancient temples with stone carvings and flickering torches. It was as if someone had decided that the best way to represent unity was to cram as many architectural styles as possible into one building. "So, Zorgons," I said, trying to make small talk, "do you guys ever get lost in here? I feel like I need a map and a compass just to find the bathroom." Zorgons' expression didn't change. "The layout is quite intuitive once you get used to it." "Sure," I muttered under my breath, "if you're a minotaur." The negotiation chamber was everything I expected, grand, imposing, and filled with an aura of extreme self-importance. As we walked in, the gathered diplomats turned to stare, their expressions a mix of curiosity and horror. Clearly, they hadn't encountered many humans. "Ladies and gentlemen," Zorgons announced, "this is Captain Jill Harper from Earth. She will be mediating our discussions." I gave a cheerful wave. "Hi, everyone. Just call me Jill. So what's the issue? Intergalactic trade agreements got you down?" The room was silent. I could feel the weight of 1,000 judgmental eyes. Time to break the ice. "You know," I said, leaning casually against the grand conference table. "On Earth, we have a saying, 'When in doubt, charades it out.' Ever tried it? Great for team building." Zorgons' glittery face twitched. "Captain Harper, we are here for serious negotiations, not games." "Who said anything about games?" I replied, raising an eyebrow. "Charades is a tried and true method of problem solving. Trust me, it works wonders." The room remained silent, the alien diplomats exchanging uneasy glances. Clearly, I had my work cut out for me. The first negotiation session was, predictably, a disaster. I tried to get the ball rolling with some small talk, asking Zorgons about his family and Grix about his favorite hobbies. It didn't go well. Apparently, discussing personal life was taboo in Zorgon culture, and Zorgons seemed to have missed the memo about small talk being a thing. Okay, I said, holding up my hands in surrender. "Let's focus. What's the main sticking point in the trade agreement?" Zorgons sighed. "The Zorgons insist on exclusive rights to the Plearan crystal mines, while the Andromedians demand joint ownership." "Plearan crystals, huh?" I said, leaning back in my chair. Ever considered a potluck lunch to hash things out? Food brings people together. Grix looked like he was about to implode. A potluck? Yeah, everyone brings a dish from their home planet. We eat, we talk, we bond. It's foolproof. Zlornak's glittery eyebrows knitted together. Captain Harper, this is highly unorthodox. Unorthodox is my middle name, I said with a grin. Well, not really. It's actually Marie, but you get the point. Hilarity ensued as my suggestions continued to bewilder the alien diplomats. I proposed we start each session with a fun fact about our home planets. This led to Zlornak sharing an overly detailed history of Andromedian fashion, which involved more sequins than I thought physically possible, and Grix nervously explaining Zorgon digestive cycles. Spoiler, it's gross. Did you know, I said during one particularly awkward silence, that on Earth we have a thing called karaoke? It's great for stress relief. Zlornak looked pained. Captain Harper, I fail to see how these Earth customs are relevant to our negotiations. Relevance is in the eye of the beholder, I replied sagely. Or, in your case, eyes. How many do you have, anyway? 5? 6? Grix twitched. 6. We have 6 eyes. Neat, I said. Bet you never lose your glasses. As the days went on, the misunderstandings multiplied. I suggested we hold a talent show to lighten the mood. The aliens took this literally, and I was treated to a variety of performances that ranged from Zlornak's awkward poetry recital to Grix's bizarre interpretive dance, which involved a lot of tentacle waving and what I can only describe as alien yodeling. Impressive, I said, clapping politely. Remind me to invite you to Earth's Got Talent. Zlornak frowned. Is this another one of your Earth customs? Something like that, I replied, suppressing a grin. Despite the chaos, my unconventional methods started to win over the aliens. One day, an emergency erupted. A critical life support system malfunctioned in the negotiation chamber. Panic ensued. Zlornak and Grix were running in circles, barking orders in languages I couldn't understand. Everyone, calm down, I shouted, clapping my hands. Zlornak, what's the problem? The oxygen levels are dropping, he cried. We're all going to suffocate. Not on my watch, I said. Zlornak, you and Grix head to the control room and try to manually override the system. I'll stay here and keep everyone calm. They hesitated, but nodded, rushing off to do as I instructed. I turned to the panicked diplomats. All right, folks, deep breaths. Well, maybe not too deep. Let's just not use too much oxygen, okay? To distract them, I launched into a story about my time at the academy, where I once had to defuse a tense situation with a game of Pictionary. It wasn't exactly relevant, but it kept their minds off the dwindling oxygen. Miraculously, Zlornak and Grix managed to fix the system. The oxygen levels stabilized, and everyone breathed a sigh of relief. In the aftermath, something shifted. The alien diplomats started to see me in a new light. Captain Harper, Zlornak said, your quick thinking saved us. Perhaps your methods have some merit after all. Ah, shucks, I replied, grinning. Just doing my job. From that point on, the negotiations took a turn for the better. My offbeat suggestions were met with less resistance, and the aliens even started to embrace some of my Earth customs. We had a potluck lunch. The Andromedian sequined pastries were a hit, and Zlornak and Grix reluctantly participated in a game of charades. Watching Grix try to mime hyperdrive was priceless. Over time, I got to know Zlornak and Grix better. Zlornak, despite his stern exterior, had a surprisingly dry sense of humor. One evening, while we were reviewing the latest negotiation points, he deadpanned, You know, Harper, if this diplomacy thing doesn't work out, you could always start a comedy club. I chuckled. I'll take that as a compliment. How about you, Zlornak? Any hidden talents? He hesitated, then admitted, I enjoy painting. It's a way to relax. Really? I said, intrigued. You'll have to show me some of your work sometime. Grix, on the other hand, was a bundle of nerves wrapped in tentacles, but he had a kind heart. One day, he brought me a Zorgon delicacy as a thank you for my efforts. It looked like a jellyfish wrapped in seaweed, but I appreciated the gesture. Thanks, Grix, I said, trying not to grimace as I took a bite. It was an acquired taste. Grix smiled, his tentacles quivering with delight. It's a traditional dish from my home planet. I'm glad you like it. In the end, we reached a breakthrough. The Zorgons agreed to share the Pleron crystal mines with the Andromedians, and the trade agreement was signed. The alien diplomats had a newfound respect for human creativity and adaptability. Captain Harper, Grix said, handing me a small, intricately carved statue. This is a token of our appreciation. I took the statue, touched by the gesture. Thanks, Grix. I'll cherish it forever, or at least until I need a paperweight. Zlornak smiled, or at least I think he did. It was hard to tell with all the glitter. We look forward to future collaborations with humanity. Likewise, I said, giving them a mock salute. Just remember, when in doubt, charades it out. As I boarded the shuttle back to Earth, I couldn't help but feel a sense of accomplishment. Sure, my methods were unconventional, and my humor wasn't always appreciated, but in the end, it worked. And who knows, maybe one day, the Galactic Federation will have a karaoke night. Now, that would be something. The shuttle doors closed, and I settled into my seat, already looking forward to my next intergalactic adventure. After all, the universe could always use a little more human style. And so ends the tale of Captain Jill Harper's diplomatic escapades. Who knew that a little humor, a lot of sarcasm, and some Earth customs could bring the galaxy together? But hey, that's humanity for you. Unpredictable, unconventional, and undeniably awesome.